Hello and welcome to our Final Fantasy Commander Precon Showcase. Each deck is built around a different game, and for this one, we'll be covering Final Fantasy XIV. But make sure to check out the other videos on FF6, 7, and 10. Hey there, Magic and Final Fantasy fans. My name is Jimmy Wong, and today we are joined by one of my best friends in the world. It's the streamer, Xell.
Hey, I am so excited to be here.
I bet you are, because you are one of the biggest Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering fans that I know. And today we're going to be previewing the cards from the brand new pre-constructed commander deck, Scions and Spellcraft, from Magic the Gathering's newest Universes Beyond set, Final Fantasy. Now, this deck is based around the hugely popular MMO Final Fantasy XIV. I played this game, but you, my friend, have sunk many hours into it.
Yes, I have. I have done everything there is to do in the game. I've done all the ultimate raids, played through the expansions, and through the game, I have met some great friends. It's become a big part of my life, and I still talk to those people, and it kind of reminds you of Magic, right? You find a community, you meet friends through it, and I think both games are amazing, so I'm especially excited for this crossover.
Amazing. Well, give us a breakdown. What is Final Fantasy XIV all about?
Well, have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV? Okay, you are the Warrior of Light, and you're in the realm of Eorzea, and you have to fend off all these different threats throughout all the many expansions there are in the game. And in the meantime, in your off time, you can do some fishing. It's an MMO after all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great game.
Well, and of course, you meet a lot of characters along the way. So let's kick it off with the face commander of the deck. It's Ishola, Knights Blessed. Ishola is a 2/4 cat warlock with vigilance who costs 4 mana to cast. As you sling non-creature spells, she spreads damage across the table and heals you in the process. Then, at the end of every player's turn, she draws you a card if anyone lost 4 or more life. Whoa.
Okay, so Ishola is just one of the more powerful casters that you get to come across. She's a fan favorite character for sure, and I'm so excited to see this. And the effect is so perfect to her character because she wants to cast non-creature spells, and when she does, explosive things happen. Very Ishola.
Yeah, and this deck seems to be based all around a spell slinger strategy with control elements as well.
Yeah, so you want to use her second ability, cast those non-creature spells twice in order to get that 4 life loss and draw that card.
Yeah, and drawing cards, pretty good in Magic the Gathering, right?
Very good. I think this card, just as a Magic card, is so powerful. Like, the life loss doesn't matter how it happens. So if your opponent's attacking to you, you get to draw that card. So like, no matter what your opponents do, it's benefiting you, which I think is awesome.
And of course, Final Fantasy XIV being such a big game and a huge world has a lot of really awesome characters, and a bunch of them show up in this deck. So let's take a look. The allies and friends of the Warriors of Light band together in Scions and Spellcraft. The backup commander is G'raha Tia, Scion Reborn, who lets you pay life as you cast spells to create mighty heroes that can fight for you in combat. Then there's Alice and Alphino, a partner pairing who reward you for casting multiple spells in the turn. Thancred Waters can flash into the fray to protect one of your many legendary creatures. And other beloved characters like Tataru Taru and Hildebrand Manderville appear on their own powerful new cards.
Oh my, the Final Fantasy XIV fan in me is just squealing at these cards, okay? G'raha Tia, he's just such a pure-hearted character in the game, and his ability on the card makes so much sense because in the game, he opens this like interplanetary portal essentially and summons you, the hero, through its gates. So him opening the gates makes so much sense. It's so thematic to his character, and so obviously I would be excited to play him, casting a big spell, paying the life, and then getting a giant hero to come out with it. I mean, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and you are the hero in this case. Yeah.
Coming through.
But he does have lifelink, so he can gain some of that life back.
Yes.
But I love that. Huge spell, big hero, beats him face down.
And you can't forget about the Levior twins. They're also just central parts to the story, and I just love the nods to the classes that the design of these cards embodies. So Alice is a red mage, and the way red mages work in Final Fantasy XIV is you cast one long spell, and that shortens the cast time of your second spell.
Oh, so in the Magic version, the mana cost is reduced.
Right? So it's just so perfect the way these cards were. And then of course, Alphino is a sage, and the way his class works is that when you cast this ability, Eucrasia, the second second spell becomes empowered. So that's why.
Empowered, Magic the Gathering, draw a card.
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
good.
Yeah, exactly. I love that they embody their classes so well and they work together so well.
Yeah, and they have partner with on them, which means if you play one, you can search the other one out of your deck. It just seems like a really fun combo. If you get both of them out in the battlefield, you're just popping off. But not every character in Final Fantasy XIV is as benevolent as we just saw here. So let's take a look at some of the cards for the villains of the game. The antagonists from Final Fantasy XIV make a big impact in Scions and Spellcraft. Emmett Selk of the Third Seat rewards the Master Tactician, letting you recast old spells from your graveyard while also lowering their cost. Fellow villain Fandaniel also values the spells in your graveyard, using them to make your opponents lose life, unless they're willing to make a sacrifice.
Ooh, yes, Emmett Selk.
Yeah.
Oh my god, again, one of those villains that you kind of learn to love a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so there's so many cool things about this card right off the bat. Like the creature type being an Elder Wizard, he is an Ascian, and they come from like this ancient race. And his whole thing is that he wants to revive the old world. And so it makes so much sense that he wants to cast things from the graveyard. He just gives you so much access to your old spells again, and I think that's so thematic.
And it works really well with the face commander of the deck as well.
Yes, exactly. Ishola will deal the damage, and then Emmett Selk will bring something back from the graveyard. It's perfect.
I love effects like this that allow you to play spells out of your graveyard, because it's not just one spell, it's every spell that's been put in there throughout the course of the game. So the longer the game goes, the more choices you have, and man, that just feels perfect for that villain moment where you have exactly what you need to take over the game.
And that is exactly what Emmett Selk is. He is the master strategist waiting for the perfect time to strike. He'd make a pretty good Magic player. Okay, but can we take a closer look at this Fandaniel card? I mean, this is crazy. If Emmett Selk is a villain that you learn to love, Fandaniel is the opposite. He is a villain that you love to hate. And boy, would I hate having this against me in a Magic game.
Yeah.
Because that effect of having to make that difficult decision of sacrificing things or just taking a bunch of damage, I mean, that's perfect to Fandaniel's character.
Yeah, and that adds up over a game, and so you could very quickly find yourself right on the edge of death, and you have to now choose to sacrifice something instead. That feels very villainous to me.
Imagine playing this after a board wipe. Your opponents don't get to choose. They're just gonna lose a ton of life.
Oh, that would be so sweet. Well, of course, a game as big as Final Fantasy XIV can't just be about its characters, though. We also have tons of cool story moments, items, and classes, so let's see how those show up as cards in the deck. Final Fantasy XIV's items and iconic gameplay make their way into Scions and Spellcraft. An armory of new equipment lets you assign your creatures different jobs from the MMO. Dancer's Chakrams creates a performer who buffs the team. Reaper's Scythe makes an assassin who grows stronger as you claim souls. And Blue Mage's Cane empowers a wizard with the ability to steal opponent's spells. Other cards include Champions from Beyond, an enchantment that summons an army of heroes and rewards you based on the size of your party. And Observed Stasis, a powerful defensive spell that takes out an incoming threat while drawing you a grip of new cards. Even the reprints from Magic's past have new art that showcases memorable characters and moments from the game.
Okay, this is really cool. Okay, I've said that for every card so far, but man, as a Final Fantasy XIV fan, I'm just so excited. Okay, so anyways, the way the classes work in Final Fantasy XIV is that your character is actually more of a blank slate, and then depending on which weapon you've equipped, that becomes your class. So that's reflected in the job select mechanic here on these cards, and I think that's really neat. And the different weapons are kind of nods to their different classes and how they work in the game. Dancer's Chakrams gives a buff and some lifelink because it has some healing elements to it. That card in particular seems like it would be really good with Ishola because Ishola deals damage. So if you give your commander lifelink, I mean, you're gaining a lot of life. And then for the Reaper weapon, which is a class that I used to main, is a class that deals damage and builds up a gauge that you can use for more powerful attacks. So I think, again, these weapons are very reflective of how they work in the game.
Yeah, I love that. And it really gives that customizable aspect that's so unique to MMOs.
And I have to talk about Champions from Beyond because it mentions light parties and full parties. So in Final Fantasy XIV, when you queue up for a dungeon or a trial, if it's a 4-person party, it's called a light party. And then when you have 8, it's called a full party.
Yeah, so 8 creatures will be a full party in Magic the Gathering, and the more creatures you have, the greater the reward. It's just so thematic, it feels like, with the party system in the game as well.
For sure, it just fits to a T.
Yeah. even on these reprints, the art seems to evoke some big character moments in the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like in Sublime Epiphany, you can see Reen and Gaia and the raid boss behind them together here, and that's so cool.
Oh, nice.
And then Cleansing Nova, I mean, that's the moment that even kicks off an entire expansion.
Wow. Or in Magic, a fresh new board state.
Yeah. But before we move on, I have to bring up Hildebrand Manderville.
Okay, what's going on with this card?
He is an absolute meme in the Final Fantasy 14 community. Players love him. He's just such a silly part of like a side quest story, and I think players will be really excited to see him.
I mean, and the card itself seems pretty powerful, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the story, he is kind of unkillable, so it makes sense that he just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back.
Oh, that's awesome. That to me says amazing design and amazing gameplay, a clear nod to the community, and something that a lot of enfranchised players will know about, and new players are going to enjoy playing the heck out of a card like this.
Yeah.
All right, you're not going to want to miss out on the brand new pre-constructed commander deck, Scions and Spellcraft, from Magic the Gathering's newest Universes Beyond set, Final Fantasy. It features some great characters from Final Fantasy XIV, like Ishola, Knights Blessed, G'raha Tia, Alice and Alphino, and so many more.
As a longtime Final Fantasy XIV fan, it is so cool to see job weapons like the Dancer's Chakram and Reaper Scythe come to life.
Yeah. Oh, and the villains look so much fun to play. Emmett Selk, Fandaniel. Oh, man, you want to play right now?
1v1?
Yeah, isn't that a light party?
Well, we need 4 for a light party.
Oh, well in that case, we just need 2 more to join us. If you want to come along and play, make sure you check the link in the description for the rest of the cards in the deck, and then pick up your own copy in stores on June 13th.